What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ben. If you guys are new here, I am an ex-DRZ400 owner, an ex-KLR650 owner, both a Gen 2 and a Gen 3. And actually between those two, I owned a 10RA 700. And after fighting all of those 460-pound monsters through the most insane single track that I've ever seen, well, I decided that this summer, it was time for something different. So I actually traded the Gen 3 for a viewer's DR650, and then I purchased the XR650L here. Obviously, the DR has a bit of a ways to go. The XR honestly still has, well, 2 boxes of parts sitting around that I need to get installed. I'm going to be doing a heck of a lot with both of these bikes, so if you guys are interested in seeing that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you guys watching along. While the XR is far from complete, we do have quite a few mods done to it already that I think definitely warrant a test ride. We've got the Tusk Waypoint tires on here, the Hemisphere Off-Road Rally Dash with a CarPlay unit stuck to the back of it. I swapped the horrible bars for something that are much, much better on an awesome set of risers. And we've got the Tusk handguards. Let's gear up, head the hour north, and take this thing out on some of the best trails that I've ever ridden. We stopped off in Merrill here for the second fill-up of the day. I was riding on the highway to meet Jerry on the T7, and this thing shut off right around 62 miles. So I think that is a new record. We'll have to see what we get for mileage, but apparently I'm gonna have to do something about the rather small tank. Check it out though, they got 93 here. Really gonna have to be careful to keep the front wheel on the ground.
Let's go.
Yeah, hopefully that gets me all the way home. Half the range of that bike, the empty light comes on at 140. I didn't even make it to 70. Let's find some dirt. Just pick me up if I tip over.
Why would you do that?
I can't reach.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this will be the last ride before I lower it. So yeah, it looks like since I filled up, which was mostly highway, we put on 23 miles. And I've got to say, those were some of the most comfy highway miles that I've put on in a long time. And I mean, I'm afraid that I'm just sort of infatuated with this bike, and I'm giving you guys false info here because I don't know, I did not expect it to be this easy, I guess. But I guess it is a Honda. They've made a good motorcycle or two in their day, so just because the marketing department didn't tell the engineering group to put the right stuff on doesn't mean it's not a heck of a bike for this type of riding. Oh man, let's get on the freeway here and enjoy our dual sport. What a weird thing. And the other thing that I guess I kind of forgot to mention in the install and just the quick test ride video that I did on the Hemisphere Rally Dash here. Oh, I didn't turn my unit on. God dang it. Whoops. What I was trying to say is I forgot to mention the price. And if you guys haven't looked, the price on this thing is ridiculously cheap compared to the other options out there. That Manic Rally one is like $500 more. All right, I think we made Jerry wait more than long enough. Yep, there's the Google lady talking to me. Merge, 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 she says. Woo, definitely got a bit sweaty sitting there. Still kind of picked myself up enough to get some airflow into the coat though. When you move it up to 75, the pegs definitely pick up some vibration that I think after a long time could be annoying. Bars aren't bad, but I do notice that they pick up a little bit of vibe. So, and it's not super, super smooth. It's certainly, I think, doable if you're in a bit of a hurry or, you know, you need to keep up with traffic. If you drop it down to 70 on the dash, yeah, pegs calm right down. So, perhaps a 16-tooth sprocket, if it'll fit on here, would be the answer to that. Now, I'll say one thing, I'm usually not one to be passing people on the highway on a bike, but between the engine, the wind protection, that honestly does, I think, make this thing feel more solid, even if it's just that it's not blowing me around as much. Well, see, look at me now, I forgot about the pegs, and now I'm doing almost 75 indicated on the dash. Since we've got the 10RA here, okay, so this is much wider, much lower, and much more stretched out. Uh-oh. Oh boy, this is weird. Whoa, these bars are so far away. Oh man, and that screen is so far away and teeny. Wow, does this feel so different. Oh man. Thing feels like, I mean, an awesome tank, but a tank just the same. Much easier to get to the ground though, that's for sure. Oh boy. Now this won't be as fast. Guess I got to speed limit a little quicker than Jerry did, but surprisingly not that much more exhilarating than the XR. I don't know, maybe I just really like the XR. I'm supposed to be a professional and not get attached to my bikes, but I suppose that's hard to do. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't love motorcycles, I guess. So let's see. This definitely feels, I mean, just glued to the road and kind of almost like stuck in a straight line. Like I said, the last time I was on this, you really kind of have to give the bars a crank to get it to, I mean, do anything basically, just because it is, I mean, it just has so much mass going that way, I suppose, and it's just stuck to the ground so much better, where the XR is kind of high off the ground, and it feels incredibly solid for what it is, but for what it is 12 inches off the ground at the lowest part of the frame, so you have to expect something a bit different than a 460-pound Tenere with, you know, probably 30 pounds of gear on it. The wind protection, yeah, is definitely better because it's higher, but it's actually much thinner. There's a very kind of small pocket of actual clean air. There's a bit of buffeting, you know, there to there, and then somewhere around here, the air kind of gets shot over the top of my helmet, so that's definitely different in comparison to the XR. But if I was to stick that extended windshield on there from Hemisphere, I think that bike might actually have better wind protection than this one. As far as the vibrations go, at 70, I feel basically just about nothing. I mean, the bars move a teeny bit, foot pegs maybe a teeny bit, but I mean, this is a much more solid ride. Ooh, it's a long way down. So we ended up taking a bit of a detour here, which will hopefully get us to where we need to be. I gotta say, I don't really like how there's all this crap in the way, and that's really not the unit's fault. That's totally just Google Maps. Pretty hard to beat being able to see the satellite imagery, even though you guys probably can't see it. I definitely can. Wish it would tell me the speed that I'm going. That would be nice. But it's nice it tells me the speed limit. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Awesome day to be out riding with your dad in the beautiful Northwoods. So jumping back on this and doing about 60 after being on the T7, this is definitely a thumper, and definitely, like I've always said, you know, it has some vibration through the bars, has it through the foot pegs, but it's not like a bad buzz that I dislike, and I guess maybe some people would, but I mean, it feels like I'm on a motorcycle, on a dirt bike, on an XR, and I mean, I don't find any faults with that at all. I welcome it. T7 definitely feels good on the pavement, better than this, but is it 110 pounds worth off-road better? I guess we'll find out. You guys see the nav unit bouncing around? I mentioned it last time that I wouldn't recommend putting a cell phone up there because you do get a bit of vibration, which of course changes with the RPM of the bike and the speed of the bike, but it all is moving around a bit. Seems like this thing doesn't seem to mind though. Changing RPM cleans that up. One thing that I don't think that I would really recommend turning on this thing, but it is an option, is that you can actually have this thing give you notifications from your phone. Maybe in some situations it'd be nice, but I think having most of your focus on where you're going, whether it be, you know, mostly in front of you, but a little bit of navigation to rule out any confusion, I mean, I think is the way to go. I do love that I can connect it to my helmet and get the map on the dash and hear the directions on my phone. That is pretty darn slick. It's something that I've never been able to accomplish all in one.
Turn left on Turtle Lake Road.
Oh, I love that thump. was gonna say let the fun begin, but you know what, man? I have really enjoyed our ride today so far, and that is not something that I think I have ever said on any other bike. And like I said, I mean, maybe I'm just a little excited about this. It's, you know, obviously quite the change. It's what I sort of set out to do, so maybe some of that interest and excitement will wane once I get a little bit more seat time on it. But either way, and regardless of any of that, I had a darn nice time riding this bike up here, and man, that is not something that I ever thought that I would be able to say back when I had that DRZ 400 and was looking at a DR650. And I don't regret testing out the KLR and trying that. I mean, I loved every minute of those bikes, but I think maybe maybe you guys were right. I like my 650 dual sports, big old thumpers. I love my trails too. I love this world. Turn the music off though. So because I don't have anything special on here, it's just Google Maps, it looks like we've got the main road here. Of course, none of the side trails are going to be on here. This is also not going to have any of the land information like my other GPSs would, but I think I might have a workaround for that. I don't know that it'll be something that I'll be too excited about, but I figure I might as well try it. So we'll be doing that hopefully sometime soon. Let's see if I built myself a worthy rally bike here. Whoa, there's a big old rock. Oh man. Yeah, I suppose there was a lot of precipitation recently, wasn't there? So in the attack position, my face is close to this, but I don't think, no, I mean there's no reason I'd have my head way out there. There's a bit of debris on the trail from the storm. You have to be mindful of that. My gosh, this thing is an off-road monster. This is the first time that I've had this up here, and this is sort of my dual sport proving ground, I suppose you would call it. This is kind of the best place with the most amount of variation in terrain and that sort of thing. And that's kind of why I like coming up here to test bikes. I also like coming up here to test bikes, so this is my favorite place to ride. It's pretty hard to beat. Apparently the XR is a bit hard to beat too. I was going to tease him about the Yamaha not being able to keep up, but that's a darn good bike for off-road, considering what it is. And this bike, this is a beast. I've been saying that the 701 is way above my skill level and that I can't keep up with it and ride it to its close to its limits. But honestly, I think this bike, while it doesn't have the same horsepower, yikes, that's throwing me off. Even though this one doesn't have near as much horsepower, I think it's still a darn capable bike. And honestly, I mean, I don't think that I've come close to riding it to its limits yet. The horsepower maybe, maybe I'm getting close to kind of the limit once in a while, pinning it, but there's a lot more capability beyond horsepower and torque. Oh man, yeah, it definitely it soaks this up all so nice. I guess we got more testing to do, but I'm surprised how good this feels in comparison to the 701. I just assumed that would be noticeably better, and it's different, but I don't know that I would say it's better. Let's put on some more miles and find out, shall we? Certainly have to put in a little bit more effort to get the front to come up, and I guess I am noticing a bit more vibration Sure gets the wheels off the ground nice, and boy is that, suspension just feels perfect. Hopefully lowering it doesn't drop that quality too much. It really shouldn't, because the front I'm actually just changing geometry, really. I'm not reducing the actual travel like the 701 is. Woo! Oh man, there's no bottom in sight. Whoa! Puddle in sight though. This thing definitely picks up more vibration towards the top of the RPMs. Woo! Ooh, sure takes those jumps nice though. Yeah, so the vibes are definitely something you need to get used to, but wow, that's a little muddy. The sheer capability of the suspension and the handling and everything, man, they make you forget that pretty quick. It sure makes me want to go fast. Getting a lot of brakes. So as far as comparisons to other bikes like the KLR, woo, and the T7, I mean, this feels so much more capable and light compared to both my KLRs. Obviously, it's 110 pounds lighter. What do you expect, right? Doesn't mean KLR's not a good bike, just not really the right bike for me, since I sure am willing to take the beautiful ride that I had on the way up here on the highway in conjunction with the beautiful ability off-road here. I don't regret my bike choice at all today. Everything, oh man, just feels great. Whoa, big rocks don't feel so great though, yikes. Whoa! Yeah, the waypoint slipped a bit there, and that could have been me not being over the front enough, but I think that was probably just not enough traction in the mud, I would guess, which, if you're going to have a tire that's a bit less knoppy, that's just going to happen. Away she goes, I suppose. Oh, turkey! It'd be interesting to see what this bike would feel like with some D-Sports on it. Maybe I'll have to do that just to compare. It would be nice to have the extra traction, because I mean, I know they're obviously better off-road and stuff like this, so it'll be interesting to see whether the compromise in the road on this bike could be worth it or not. What a beautiful place to ride, huh? One thing I think that I'm really going to like about this is that I can sort of pre-plan my routes and put in waypoints and stuff, and I've just got all my waypoints that I've been saving over the years, and I don't have to get down to the bike in the garage and then transfer all that over anymore. It's just already mirrored on here from my phone, so that will be pretty darn slick. We could do just a little more too and then get off at a different road and head back, but
Yeah, a little more would be okay.
okay, yeah, let's keep going then.
How far?
I can look. I don't think it's too bad. So I will say I think I am going to miss having the ATV trail maps on here. I was thinking for some reason I'd be able to figure out how far the next road is from this one if we take the trail, and I don't really remember well enough where they go exactly on a map, so hopefully it's not too far. So we got to get back home. This is a good hill, I think. By good hill, I mean nasty hill. Oh, yeah. This thing's just as happy as in the air as it is on the ground. Just gotta remember to let off the throttle before you hit the ground. Don't chew up them teeth on the splines. She is light and flickable out here. It just feels so different from the 701. It's like I don't even know how to compare them, I guess. Definitely feeling much easier to handle than the Tenere. And the Tenere is surprisingly easy to handle until you do something wrong, and then you kind of have to catch it. You can really feel the weight of it then, where this, I mean, you can feel the lack of weight, I guess, if you screw up, and how easy it is to bring it back on track. I reinstalled an update on my Hero 9 here and reformatted the cards the long way around, and everything seems to be working a lot smoother, so maybe I just need to do that once a month. It's funny how you get so irritated with technology when it doesn't work, but the fact that it works at all is pretty amazing. My entire ride and everything I say and see is captured in high def on a little teeny tiny card the size of one of my teeth, but much thinner. Pretty amazing. Sure, I'm enjoying my 90s technology though too today. I can tell that being kind of high up does make things a little bit harder to maneuver, but I mean in general the way that I got the bars set up now, and I mean just the bike on its own otherwise, it really does feel very, very nice out here. I think lowering it will make me a little bit more comfortable and kind of stop the little bit of a feeling that I get, whoop, stop sign, that it wants to fight me to the ground, but not much. Definitely smells like a Honda. Actually, for a while when I was in the water, it was smelling a bit like an old chainsaw. Can't say I mind that. Do you want to go out here or you want to keep going? There? Okay. I gotta say, everything worked pretty darn good off-road, other than not having my maps, which is just my own darn fault. Can't say enough about the ride here. The ride that we were on off-road, this was not in my way at all. I mean, as soon as I stand up, I can see right over it. And I mean, even if I'm just kind of straightening my back out a little bit, I can see so much more. But I mean, as soon as I get up in the air, I mean, it just disappears. It's like it's not even there, which the same cannot be said for the Tenere, which, like we showed out on the road, that's not the greatest thing. It is better for wind protection, but if you're going to take a bike off-road, it's kind of nice to have your wind protection just disappear automatically as soon as you stand up in off-road riding form. So pretty slick. Can't complain about that. The vibrations up towards the, I guess what I would assume is close to redline, definitely aren't the nicest thing, and I think the 701 is a bit smoother at higher RPM, but maybe not though. I think it maybe feels smoother because it's a different frequency of buzz, where this one is kind of more of a bigger rattle, I guess. But I don't know, it's not bad. It's not like I don't want to take it back off-road again. If anything, I really would like to take this thing back off-road again, but I think I am looking forward to having this lowered and seeing what that feels like, because just the few moments of uncomfortability every once in a while, I think would be cleaned up by that. And honestly, maybe even a more aggressive set of tires would be a better option. Again, not that these are bad. If you're wanting something more road-oriented, I think these tires honestly would be pretty well suited for somebody that is going to spend, or at least wants, a little bit more on-road performance. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what the D Sports would do on this. I do kind of, I guess, find myself, now that we've hit a bit of mud, wanting maybe a little bit more traction in the front, but who knows, maybe once we lower it, that'll take that away. I do really enjoy these tires on the road, I will say that. They definitely give me more confidence in the D Sports too. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing adjusted here quick before we hit the road again. This was in the been doing too much riding, back position. I'll be moving it forwards. Boy, we got quite the paint job on there now. Now it's not a big piece of empty plastic, is it? How'd your bike get so dirty?
I don't know. I said Ben's trying to keep his bike clean. I'm not.
Nice. So a couple of you guys wanted to know about this tactical hydration backpack vest deal. I carry a lot of crap because I have a bunch of camera equipment and like to overpack and that sort of thing. But I've got to say, if you need to bring anything with you at all, boy, is it nice to have one of these things. And it's definitely nice to have the water capacity. I always feel so much better when I've got the right amount of hydration out here. So they're pricey, but I think if you're somebody that rides a lot and thinks that it might be useful, I would bet that you would probably enjoy it quite a lot. No, I certainly do. Tool pouch is pretty slick too. Forgot all about that though. Would be kind of nice if those bottom ones were Allen too, honestly. Alright, let's see. So the headlight sort of disappears in there when you do this, which I think maybe some people won't like the look of, but honestly I don't really mind it. The only thing that I don't like is that then you get a little bit of light kind of shining from the headlight on the inside of the fairing, and I think at night that'd probably be not so safe. I can't get it to go all the way forward anymore. I don't know what I did. Oh. Okay. Ah! Oh boy! Alright, there we go, forward position. Let's see what happens. I gotta say, this thing is pretty weighed down until I put it on. And then it's like all the weight disappears, and that is definitely different than any of the other hydration packs that I've used in the past. They don't feel heavy till you put them on. And this one's definitely the opposite. Probably gonna be heavy traffic.
Well, go north, right?
Right, but we can get on the highway though from 17, right?
Yeah.
You wanna do that?
Sure.
Okay. Don't mind me, just having a little snack. Didn't eat lunch. That's not true. I had 2 power bars. So is this any different? I think I like it better that I can see my GPS, and I was going to shim the mount that I've got, the bracket on the back side of this, to make it a little bit further away and to kind of tilt it just the unit itself, but I don't really mind it exactly how it is. This works. As far as the wind protection goes, I mean, it would have stood it up a bit, so maybe it's shooting the air a little higher or changing the buffeting. But yeah, again, I mean, I guess at 60, really doesn't feel too much different. There might be just a little bit more protection higher up, maybe a little bit more buffeting, a slightly bigger strip of buffeted air, but it's not really much different. Pretty darn comfortable and happy in the position that I'm in on this bike. I mean, this is a darn good adventure dual sport, I would say. I think I'm definitely feeling less fatigued than I would on a much heavier bike. We didn't do all that much off-road, but I think I'm definitely, at the point where I would be sort of the most wore out in general, and I'm really feeling pretty good. 39 miles. I might be flipping to reserve on the way home. I guess we'll see. Whoa! I needed to make a video about that, but man, ever since my accident, which is now like 3 years ago, or more than that even, I do not like riding around people. Not that I ever did. I just realized this is the same road, headed the other direction, of course, that I was on when I was first realizing that the DRZ400 was not the right bike for me. Definitely feeling better on the XR today, that's for sure. Plenty of power, plenty of wind protection. I do wish the seat had a little bit less angle. I kind of feel like I'm sliding down it and pulling my butt hairs. You gonna stay out here? Okay. How's your taco, Jerry?
Very good.
I'm always in too much of a hurry to stop, but sometimes it pays to stop and see the scenery.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit muddy. Looks good on there. So one downside to having this all hooked up this way is I don't believe, I can no longer control the pause function from my Bluetooth headset, which is a little annoying, but not the worst. Easy enough to do on the display. Well, this certainly is more comfortable. Not a great view for you guys, but it's nice not getting my head pushed around all the time. Super Tenere. Oh, I didn't feel like waiting till it shut off on me. Oh, only 91. No corn, though. $1.534 gallons, 64 miles.
54 miles?
64. A little better than 40 mpg. Whoops. And put that back. Oh, my back's a little sore, but my back's always a little sore. Oh. My dad was saying that there was some amount of kind of uncomfortability with this when he got on it on the highway earlier today, and I think I know what he's talking about, but it's not near as bad as the KLR was, which I'm kind of surprised that he really, I don't know, I mean, I suppose that bike's so much heavier, but even on the highway with the grooves cut in it, just, I don't know, seems pretty solid. I'm getting blown around by the wind a bit, but I mean, even when I kind of give the tank a bit of a shake at 70, it's so much more solid than the KLR ever was. I suppose that's just because that bike had so much gas in the tank. Once you got it moving side to side, it just kept going. I bet that has a lot to do with it, but I mean, this one feels, I think, definitely more solid. I can get it to go side to side pretty easy because it's a light bike, but after I stop giving it input with my knees, it pretty much just immediately straightens out. Oh. So, status report. I would say the worst part of the ride was probably the discomfort I was feeling in my backside. The angle that the seat is at, just it's not great for long distance travel, I think. And I guess I did sort of mention that right away. I think when I got on the DR versus this, I just said that felt better. And I would definitely say that is something that I have noticed, especially just kind of on the home stretch here. And I mean, maybe if we would have taken a few more breaks, if we wouldn't have spent so much time on the highway, having to hide behind the screen a little bit, or maybe if I had, again, that taller riser on here, that would have helped. The wind fatigue that I was feeling bouncing my head around, I mean, it's just something you're going to notice with a helmet like this, or just any helmet, really. So having a little bit more protection for my helmet would have been nice. Like I've said in a lot of other videos, though, the majority of the rides that I go on, I'm really more interested in riding 55, 60 miles an hour on the back roads. I've just never been that interested in highway travel. Now, obviously, I'm sort of building a adventure dual sport here, so there will be times where I want to hit the highway. And today, I think definitely made me realize that it's not quite ready for that yet. I think it is less comfortable in the seat and the wind protection than the KLR was, especially with the 3D cycle parts, windshield riser, and GPS mount. So I guess I did downgrade a bit there, but obviously off-road, I mean, this thing is so much better. I am looking forward to seeing how much better it gets when I lower it, but it's obviously just much more capable off-road and was a huge amount of fun and a huge improvement. Definitely enjoyed it off-road, definitely enjoyed the gravel, certainly enjoyed the sort of slower 55, 60 mile an hour county roads that we were on. The corners are a blast. I really enjoy riding this bike on that type of road. As far as comparisons against this to the 701, which also has some wind protection and stuff now and a seat concept seat, I would say the slightly more comfy seat on the 701, meaning I guess kind of the seat itself, but again, that angle, I think does make me a little bit happier in the long term. The wind protection on that isn't, I think, as good. You end up with a lot of turbulence. In general, I mean, I would definitely recommend this bike if you're looking to do something similar to what I did today. I would probably recommend maybe spending a little bit less time on the freeway, though. The nav unit worked flawlessly, super simple. It's really nice to be able to just turn everything on and have everything basically ready to go. You just press the play button, put in a destination, and you're good to go. Having the nice big screen is great. The tires, I was a little bit disappointed to feel a bit of a slip from the front. Would it have been that much different on the D Sport? I mean, mud is kind of slippery, so maybe not. It's hard to say. Definitely happy with the tires on the pavement. The back seemed to have plenty of traction the whole way through. I think maybe just if that front was just a hair more aggressive, it'd be better. Like I said, I think it'd be interesting to try a set of D Sports on this someday. But if you're looking to do a decent amount of on-road riding and want to have fun in the corners and stuff, these are going to be, I think, better for you than a D Sport. But they're certainly not going to be better off-road, which isn't really a surprise and shouldn't be anyway. All in all, very happy with how the build is coming along so far. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I promise we will be getting back on builds, and we'll hopefully be doing some stuff with the DR in the next couple weeks here. Still kind of waiting on trying to line up some sponsors for different parts and stuff like that. So hopefully this video was enjoyable to you. Let me know down in the comment section. Hit that like button if it was. All that stuff really does help get these videos out to more people, and that will only allow me to make more videos for you guys when that happens. So definitely appreciate that. Huge thanks to you guys for watching. Huge thanks to the channel members for supporting. Cannot thank you enough. Still not doing nearly enough for you guys, but I do really appreciate it. And I, of course, always appreciate when you guys take the time to use my affiliate links. I've been trying to just post them in a pinned comment down below, so you can just click on a link and go to Amazon or Rocky Mountain or wherever, Moto Camp Nerd, and buy your stuff. It definitely helps me pay the bills, and the easier it is for me to pay the bills, the more time I can spend on building bikes and making videos for you guys. So definitely appreciate that. Huge thanks to all you guys out there for watching and supporting. So take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, enjoy this beautiful world God created for us any chance you get. If you can't do that right now, there's some more videos to check out in the meantime.